Luna Ascending by Zaina Wilder. Copyright Zaina Wilder 2024. All rights reserved. Chapter 2. Dirk. Sleeping hasn't eased the rift with my wolf. If anything, he's even more on edge. By tonight, I'll have a mate, a life partner. It's surreal. I push the stack of files to the edge of the mahogany desk and stand, pacing my father's wood-lined office. A few short strides later, I wheel in the opposite direction. The walls loom inwards dark, foreboding. The room is suddenly too small, too enclosed. I need to shift, to run. I scrub a hand through my hair and take a deep breath, forcing the panic down. What a day. Worse. Today would have been Hella's birthday. Shit. It is Hella's birthday. I won't believe she's dead. She can't be. She was too full of life. Always my hero, heroine. Always braver. She was 22 the last time I saw her. Younger than I am now. A born alpha. Father made her miserable with his dumb rhetoric about a woman's place in the pack. No wonder she left. Can't blame her. Not really. Not even when it's led me here. I will turn the pack around, despite our father. I'll turn it into something she'd be proud of. I fling myself back into the magnificent carved chair, kick my feet up on the desk and massage my temples. Sitting here, in this seat, I should feel like the boss, like the alpha. Instead, I'm a scared little boy, playing at grown-ups. Crashing reverberates through the pack house and I yank my feet down. Stamping rushes towards the office and I tense, every muscle on high alert. The door flies open, smacking against the wall and bouncing back with a puff of plaster. A petite, black-haired beauty with deep amber eyes marches in. Sitting up taller, I raise one eyebrow and watch. "Xu Lang," she says curtly, glaring over her shoulder as a harassed Tavy blunders in. Pressing my lips together, I suppress a smile. This is the first time I've been face to face with Xu. Her reputation precedes her. You'd never guess it, looking at the wisp of a girl in front of me. But this one gets her own way. By any means. Her pack is new to Scotland, at least as far as shifter history goes. The Bortocinos emigrated from China a generation ago. They've adapted quickly, negotiating themselves a niche market in biomass and carving out lands in the sparsely populated north. If I took Sue as a mate, it'd solidify the northern and immigrant shifters under our banner. Not to mention our corporations complement each other nicely. Vargwave and Wolfwind are our most profitable companies. Add biomass to wave and wind renewables, we'd corner the green energy market. "Are you ready for me, Alpha Air?" Zu's demeanour changes as she glances sidelong at me, dipping her eyes, briefly. I wasn't, but this seems far more interesting than the scripted introductions Tavy had planned. I glanced down at the dossiers on each of the she-wolves, balanced precariously on the edge of the desk in front of me. I should read through these again. But hell, she's here now. I've been dying to meet you, but your man here keeps shooing me away. She opens her eyes wide, staring at me while waving a hand dismissively in Tavy's direction. Tavy bristles. "I will make time for you, Zu. I understand you went out hunting this morning?" I stare her down, frowning slightly, trying desperately not to show my amusement. She falters, obviously not aware she'd been watched, before twirling a strand of hair in her fingers. "I was a little frustrated. My wolf wanted to meet you last night, but Tavy denied me. I had to let off steam somehow. Maybe we could go hunting together?" She flashes a smile at me before pouting, and I pause, resting a lingering gaze on her svelte frame. I can think of plenty of things we could do together to let off steam. She catches my meaning and her pupils dilate, her wolf rising to the surface. "Anything you want, once you choose me as Luna, Alpha Air." Trying to rile me up. I like it. At least she has spunk. Zoo's delegate finally catches up with her, and I send them to breakfast. Zoo wailing and dragging her feet, making a show of wanting to stay at my side. Could I cope with her theatrics? For life? We have a morning of tasks for the candidates to get through, and I'm not even sure I can put up with it that long. The lunar right challenges I've set should give them a fair chance at representing themselves. And Zoo barging in has given me an excuse to meet them all a little early. Really, I'm just keeping it fair by meeting everyone. Ruby Eclipse, Moonstone Pack, Tavy announces, staring at a spot on the wall above my shoulder, avoiding catching my eye. A snort escapes me, and I have to cover it with a cough. Ruby? Ruby? By the moon goddess, who decided that? I grew up with Ruby. Since she hit puberty, she's been the tease of every hormonal teenager in the surrounding packs. Even if my wolf accepted her, I'd be left in a tricky spot. What alpha could remain diplomatically impartial with the wolves he knew had fucked his Luna? I straighten my shirt and concentrate on the girl in front of me. Moonstone is a huge pack. They could lend a lot of muscle in the war, and war is coming. I've not seen Ruby, not in years. She's filled out into a curvy, big-busted, red-lipped stunner. She walks toward me, all rolling hips and fluttering eyelashes and coy smiles. She makes only the briefest of eye contact before immediately casting her gaze to the floor, submitting. I only just hold in my sigh. I need a Luna, not a servant. Her submission would normally be ego-boosting, but right now, it's plain annoying. Maybe having a Luna who's my equal is a luxury I can't afford. I grit my teeth. I will make the best decision for the pack, no matter the cost to me. And if that's Ruby, she wouldn't be a bad choice. She's not my mate, but at least my wolf has some residual interest in the sexy brunette.
I present Estella Runic, youngest daughter of Alpha Yakko Runic of the Volman Pack.
The shrill voice piercing my thoughts belongs to the Volman Pack's delegate. Peering at the raven-haired woman in front of me, my interest peaks. She's coldly beautiful, with a sharpness that sets me on edge. She fidgets, moving from one foot to the other, eyes darting round the hall. Of course, she's unnerved here. The Volmans keep to themselves. They're the only nomadic shifters on the continent. Please, Estella, relax. No one here will harm you. I promise. I keep my tone low, soothing. Her shoulders drop, but only slightly. Stella. I go by Stella, please, Alpha Air, if it pleases you. Of course. Stella it is. I can at least give you the courtesy of using your preferred name, although it would have been helpful to know that. I frown at her delegate, who looks like she might take off out the door. Grief, they're a flighty bunch. I'm not so sure what pairing with the Volman Pack would offer, beyond the mysterious woman in front of me. I suspect it might come with more problems than it solves. Stella, tell me, have you grown up in this country? I'm nomadic, Alpha Air. She lights up. I love travelling, finding the old connections with nature in new ways, in new places. There's something magical about it, finding yourself new and refreshed in each place. So, being rooted here, at my side, as Luna to this pack, would be alien to you. You might be unhappy? Stella flashes an alarmed look at her delegate before schooling her face. No, I didn't mean... Alpha Air, I would be honoured to be your Luna. I would learn how to live here at your side. She flashes me a bright smile and attempts to flutter her eyelashes. The force charm doesn't suit her ageless beauty. Perhaps there is more we need to discuss, Stella? Maybe there are things you aren't telling me? My voice sounds harsh, even to me. For now, be welcomed. Please make use of our grounds here to connect with nature, and we'll talk more later. She nods mutely and follows her delegate out, her face stony. Something is going on. They never mate with strangers, and yet, here Stella is. She's the Alpha's daughter, too. His youngest daughter, granted, but still, whatever it is, they're alarmed. Is it just the fade? Or more worryingly, is it the coven? Tavy coughs to catch my attention, but his gaze skitters past, focusing on anything but me. He shuffles on the spot, tugging at his shirt collar. Alpha, let me present Sky Silver, eldest daughter to the Alpha Silver of the Crescent Moon Pack. My ears perk up. This alliance is the most interesting by far. Our southern neighbours, with territory running both sides of the Scottish border and a strong, stable Alpha. Sky's older sibling is only a half-brother on her mother's side. Sky herself, as true-born Alpha blood, is in line to claim the Crescent Moon Pack. We would be Alpha and Luna to both packs. I can't think of a stronger position. More land, more pack members, and the stabling influence from an already well-run pack would be felt here. My father's disastrous impact could be undone. From behind Tavy strides an angry teenager. I blink twice and glance at Tavy in confusion. This is no woman. This is a child. Trotting beside her, her delegate looks distinctly harassed. His greying hair is tousled, his tie nowhere near straight, and what looks suspiciously like coffee stains his shirt. He leans down, hissing in the girl's ear. Curtsy, remember your manners, for the goddess' sake, he plight. She stamps to a halt, swivelling her neck towards him so quickly he flinches before her attention swings back to me. She makes a half-hearted bow in my direction, nostrils flaring. Laughter threatens to bubble over and I choke it back. This has to be some kind of joke, right? I am Sky, full-blooded Alpha and rightful heir to the Crescent Moon Pack. I am here at the request of my father. Glancing at the dossier in front of me, it hits home. It's no joke. She really is a girl, only 16, almost 10 years my junior, younger than my sister. By the moon's grace, what is going on? Sky stares me in the face, defiant, refusing to look down or submit. She's got spunk, I'll give the kid that, but fear rolls off her and waves. My wolf can sense it. It sparks something in my belly, a roiling anger that rises in my throat. I'm furious. Come forward. Her father must know this is wrong. He must know she doesn't want this. She's still a damn child. A very foolhardy child to stare an Alpha heir in the face, even if she's been offered up as his bride. Why would I accept a kid as my mate? Either Alpha Silver's morals are despicable, or he's desperate. Neither is good, and either way, it adds a whole new complication. None of these candidates are my fated. I'd already half decided if I didn't have a fated mate among them, then this pairing was the best option for the pack. Damn it, I should have asked more questions. I can't afford to offend Silver. Come forward, I command Sky, and she stalks towards me, her eyes flashing. Softening my voice, I try not to terrify her. Have you shifted yet, Sky? She snorts with the derision only a teen can. Yes? Her delegate corrects her. Sky, manners, it's yes, Alpha heir. Show some respect. He tugs at her dress, hitching it higher on the leg and lower on her nearly flat chest. My wolf rises to the surface, and I bare my fangs as they descend over my lip in a snarl. Stop. Titles are not required. Nor is flashing skin. We are equals. You should show some respect. I had to check. She has at least shifted. I was not aware of Sky's age. If I had been, this meeting would never have happened. Do you hear me? The delegate cringes and looks at the ground as the words explode from me in a growl. From the corner of my eye, I catch a mischievous look flit over the girl's face before there's a rip of cloth. The impetuous teenager shifts. Her wolf is taller than I might have expected, tawny with gold flecks, and very slim. A juvenile in all forms. She pulls her lips back from her teeth, her muzzle wrinkling in a snarl as she stalks toward her delegate. Her shoulders bunch and she crouches. The delegate backs away, tripping over his own feet. Skye springs forward, pinning him to the floor, her teeth inches from his jugular. "Shift back now," I command, pushing compulsion into my words. "Skye Silver, you will shift." Her ears flatten to her head, and she complies. Suddenly, she is no longer a wild animal threatening to kill an official. She's a teenage girl standing in front of me in the remnants of her clothes. Her cheeks colour almost as rapidly as her eyes fill up with tears. Ah, shit. I stare pointedly over Skye's head as Tavy rushes to cover her. Nakedness isn't an issue, not normally, but it feels jarringly wrong to have this girl, younger than my sister, standing naked in front of me, being offered up as a potential mate. "Well, that worked out better than anticipated." The delegate's whiny voice breaks through my rushing thoughts. "Now you've seen our Skye," he waggles his eyebrows suggestively, clambering to his feet and dusting himself off. "Now you've seen our Skye, is she to be your Luna?" "No," I bellow, diplomacy forgotten. This grovelling little man's implications are disgusting. Skye will be a powerful leader one day. Now she's a child, and here unwillingly at that. Collecting myself best I can, I turn to Skye, breathing heavily through my nose. "Forgive me, Skye. I didn't think when I commanded you to change. Understand, I can't have foreign wolves shifting when they feel like it and threatening dignitaries. However unpleasant those dignitaries are. I meant you no disrespect by my compulsion." She's frowning at me from under her eyebrows, a massive crease in the middle of her forehead. She still looks like she might cry. I have not a single clue how to deal with this. I change tack, quickly. "You can't sense it, Skye. You've not come of age yet, but I can. I'm not your fated mate, and you deserve a chance to find them." Ignoring the delegate, I address her directly. "I offer to you my assurances that I shall be honoured to call you and your pack my ally, and hopefully one day, friend. But, on the basis that you are not my fated mate, I decline this pairing." I take hold of her chin gently and stare at her, willing her not to take offence. "You may tell your father I decline it on that basis only. He should also be aware I don't approve of matings where one of the two hasn't had a chance to sense out their fated mate. I won't be known as the alpha with a child bride, and she's blatantly being forced into this. None of the candidates are my fated mate, but by the moon I needed some vaguely diplomatic excuse to send the chit home. It's the best I can come up with. Tavy catches my eye and gives a subtle nod. Skye lets out a huge, whooshing sigh, and a look of relief flashes across her face before she straightens herself, standing taller. "In that case, I too decline our pairing." With that, the plucky little lady turns on her heel and strides out of the hall, clutching a blanket around her. Her delegate trots along behind, scrambling to keep up. I fall back into my chair, letting out a huge sigh. What the actual hell? Now I have 3 she-wolves to choose from, and not one standout candidate between them. None are as good as an arrangement with the Crescent Moon Pack would have been. I am so over this shit. "Send them home." I wave at Tavy, whose eyes widen. "Send them home diplomatically, Tavy. I know they've just arrived, but get them the hell out of here. All of them. That's your job, Beta. Diplomacy. I can't. I just can't. Not today. Not after that. Send them home."